The soft chimes of the upscale rooftop bistro echoed faintly as a poised woman, dressed in sleek designer clothes, entered with confidence. Her heels clicked against the polished floor, drawing the attention of several diners. Enter Selena Caldwell, a leading figure in the city's high society, her presence always commanding attention. With her perfectly coiffed dark hair, immaculately styled outfits, and an air of superiority, Selena was well known for making an entrance wherever she went. However, tonight would be different. Tonight, she'd meet someone who would challenge her flawless exterior and teach her a lesson in respect she'd never forget. Nestled atop a luxury skyscraper in the heart of Crescent City, the restaurant offered sweeping views of the bay below. The decor was chic yet understated, designed for an elite clientele, with floor-to-ceiling windows that framed the shimmering waters. It wasn't just the food that brought patrons here. It was the atmosphere of exclusivity, a place where powerful people gathered to discuss deals over gourmet meals. Selena inhaled the subtle scent of fresh flowers and fine wood polish as a satisfied smile curled on her lips. This was her domain where everyone, from the staff to the other guests, acknowledged her status. At the same time, Brianna Mitchell, a young woman in her late 20s, moved seamlessly between the tables, balancing trays with grace. Dressed in the restaurant's black uniform, her natural curls tied back neatly, she radiated quiet strength. Originally from a small town, Brianna had worked hard to make her way to the city, juggling college classes and part-time jobs before landing in Crescent City to pursue her dreams. But life in this fast-paced city wasn't easy, and a temporary job at this high-end bistro had stretched longer than expected. Yet, she remained hopeful, knowing her hard work would eventually lead her to the opportunities she sought. Selena, now seated by the window, glanced briefly at the menu before raising her hand in a manner that implied she was summoning a servant rather than a waiter. Brianna, noticing the gesture, straightened her posture and made her way over with her usual professional smile, despite the exhaustion from a double shift still clinging to her bones. "Good evening, ma'am. Welcome to La Brisa. May I get you started with a drink?" Brianna asked politely. Without even looking up, Selena examined her nails, her voice tinged with condescension. "A glass of your best Merlot, and make sure it's cold. I know it's red wine, but I want it chilled," she said dismissively. Brianna, used to peculiar requests, felt a twinge of irritation but kept her composure. "Of course, ma'am. I'll have that out for you shortly," she replied, turning toward the bar. As Brianna walked away, Selena let out a loud, exaggerated sigh, loud enough for the surrounding tables to hear. "I swear, service standards have just plummeted these days," she muttered, shaking her head. Several nearby diners shifted uncomfortably at Selena's comment, while Brianna, though keeping her steps steady, felt the sting of the words. In the back of the restaurant, she took a deep breath to calm herself, recalling her mother's advice about grace under pressure. With steady hands, she poured the wine into a glass and placed it on a tray. Returning to Selena's table, Brianna gently placed the glass before her, hoping to avoid further issues. But as soon as Selena took a sip, her face twisted into a scowl. "This is room temperature," she snapped, loud enough for everyone nearby to hear. "I told you to chill it. How difficult can that be?" Brianna swallowed her frustration, forcing a calm reply. "I apologize for the misunderstanding, ma'am. Let me replace it for you." Selena waved her off with a haughty gesture. "Oh, don't bother. It seems finding competent service is a lost cause these days." She glanced at Brianna with a smug look. "I doubt you even understand the kind of standards someone like me expects." Brianna felt her chest tighten as the words hit home. She wanted to speak up, to tell this woman about the challenges she had faced, the hard work it had taken to get here. But instead, she bit her tongue. After all, people like Selena rarely cared about the struggles of others. They only saw uniforms and roles beneath them. Just as Brianna was about to turn away, a voice broke through the tension. "Excuse me, but did I hear that correctly?" The voice asked, calm but firm, drawing everyone's attention. Selena froze mid-motion, turning to see a man seated at the adjacent table. His presence exuded authority and kindness. He was Adam Reyes, a well-known entrepreneur and advocate for social causes. In his mid-50s, Adam had built a reputation for his philanthropic efforts and commitment to equality, and his name was one that Selena instantly recognized. "I couldn't help overhearing your conversation," Adam said, his gaze steady on Selena. "And I must say, what I heard was less about standards and more about disrespect." Selena's face paled as she realized who was addressing her. She fumbled for a response, but Adam continued, unfazed. "This young lady," he nodded toward Brianna, "is here doing her best to make your experience pleasant. And yet, you've chosen to treat her as if she's less than you. That's not about high standards, Miss Caldwell. That's about arrogance." Around the restaurant, other patrons watched in silence. Selena shifted uncomfortably in her seat, her confidence eroding under Adam's piercing gaze. "You see," Adam added, "respect is a reflection of character. It isn't about the position someone holds, but how we treat one another." His voice softened as he looked at Brianna. "People like her keep places like this running. They deserve our gratitude, not our disdain." Brianna felt a warmth spread through her, the validation lifting a weight off her shoulders. She looked around and saw nods of agreement from other diners, their expressions now filled with support. Adam turned his attention back to Brianna, his tone gentle. "Brianna, after your shift, I'd like to discuss an opportunity with you. I run an organization that provides mentorship and career advancement for young professionals like yourself. I think you'd be a perfect fit." Brianna's eyes widened in disbelief, her heart racing with a mixture of excitement and gratitude. "Thank you so much, Mr. Reyes," she replied, her voice steady despite the emotions swirling inside her. "I would love that." Selena sat quietly, her face flushed with embarrassment, realizing she was now the object of pity from those around her. The tables had turned, and for the first time, she was the one being judged, not admired. Adam gave Selena one last look. True power isn't in belittling others. It's in lifting them up. Then, turning back to Brianna with a smile, he nodded his approval. That night marked a turning point for Brianna. She left the restaurant with her head held high, her future bright with possibility. As for Selena, the lesson in humility she received stayed with her, reminding her that no matter how much wealth or status one had, it was respect and kindness that truly mattered. And you, what would you do if you saw such a moment unfold? Let this story be a reminder. Respect isn't earned through wealth, it's given through grace. Share this if you believe in the power of standing up for others and showing kindness where it's often overlooked. Sometimes, the smallest acts of respect reveal the real heroes among us. As the cool night air settled over the city, Brianna stepped out of the bistro with a renewed sense of purpose. The weight she had carried for so long, the feeling of being overlooked, disrespected, and undervalued, seemed lighter now. Adam Reyes' words played over in her mind, filling her with hope and affirmation. For too long, she had thought of herself as just another face in the service industry, another cog in the machine that catered to the privileged. But tonight had shown her something different. Her worth wasn't defined by her job, nor by the people who looked down on her. It was found in her resilience, her hard work, and the dignity she carried, no matter the circumstances. As Brianna walked toward the subway, her phone buzzed with a message from a friend. "Saw what happened tonight. You're amazing. Proud of you." Brianna smiled, feeling a warmth spread through her chest. The moment at the restaurant had reached more than just the people at her table. It had resonated with everyone who witnessed it, including her coworkers and patrons who had remained silent before. And most importantly, it had reached Brianna herself. Selena Caldwell, on the other hand, left the restaurant with a different weight on her shoulders. The discomfort of being publicly called out for her arrogance and entitlement gnawed at her. For the first time in years, she was forced to reflect on her behavior. The people she had always dismissed as unimportant, waitstaff, service workers, and anyone she deemed beneath her, suddenly felt like a mirror reflecting her own insecurities. As she drove home in silence, she realized that her wealth and status couldn't protect her from the truth. She had lost sight of what truly mattered, treating others with basic human decency. It was a lesson she would not forget. This story offers a powerful reminder of the importance of respect and empathy. In a world where wealth, status, and privilege often overshadow simple human kindness, we are reminded that our actions toward others reflect our character far more than our bank accounts or societal standing. Brianna's story illustrates how those who work behind the scenes, often unnoticed and unappreciated, deserve the same respect as anyone else. Their contributions, whether large or small, help make our world function smoothly. Adam Ray's intervention also speaks to the power of allyship. When someone witnesses injustice, it's not enough to simply observe. It's crucial to speak up and stand by those who may not have the power to defend themselves. In standing up for Brianna, Adam not only challenged Selena's arrogance, but also reminded everyone present that true power comes from uplifting others, not tearing them down. The lesson is simple yet profound. We all deserve dignity and respect, regardless of our job titles, backgrounds, or social status. Respect is not something that can be bought or demanded through wealth or power. It is earned through kindness, understanding, and treating others with compassion, even when no one else is watching. In the end, how we treat those who seem beneath us speaks volumes about who we truly are.